Never leak it or show it. Gotta pull your own weight. If you reap it, you sow it. Come here with a poet. Gotta plant it and grow it. Drop that artificial food. Come and eat with a poet.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Elena the Poet, and thank you so much for coming back. It's another episode of Eat with the Poet. We are live in Coral Springs, Florida, at a private location, and you know we have to slide every now and then. Right now, we are shouting out the chef in the building, Tia's Bistro. One time for Tia, y'all got to make sure y'all follow her, check her out. We'll make sure you get those tags. Now today we are jumping right into the punch with our topic, colorism versus racism. Is it trending? You tell me. YouTuber T Niori has 506,000 subscribers on YouTube, and she seems to think the topic needs to be discussed.
I don't know, I kind of just figured that people had a common understanding of its meaning, its oppressive nature, and the fact that it still runs rampant in our community. I know there are people who aren't really familiar with the nuances of colorism, but I assume that in the very least people knew that it was a bad thing. But apparently I'm the dickhead in the dungarees, because lately I've been seeing an influx of people who are still denying its mere existence.
Now, why is she so interesting? It's her POV for me. No, for real. She gave examples of colorism in Hollywood. And the facts are, it's not just African Americans who experience colorism amongst their own. My question is, have the people who are colorists ever experienced racism? Because there's a difference. And if you've lived long enough and are dark or light and not just white, then you will experience both at some point. Trust me, life ain't letting you slide, okay? Racism. Now, what does that mean? Prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism directed against a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group, typically one that is a minority or marginalized. The belief that different races possess distinct characteristics, abilities, or qualities, especially so as to distinguish them as inferior or superior to one another. Now, what does colorism mean? It means prejudice or discrimination against individuals with a dark skin tone, typically among people of the same ethnic or racial group. All right. Now, colorism is a product of racism. Today, our special guest is extra special. So special to me. And I know I always say that, but I mean that, right? So I'm honored to have him here with us. We are going to sit him down. We are going to eat together. He's going to tell you where he's from, what he got going on. Y'all stay tuned. Right after this, Eat with a Poet.
Hey guys, it's your girl Elena the Poet, and by now you've heard of my show Eat with the Poet. It is deep conversations with South Florida's known unknown gems. You guys need to go to YouTube, go to Elena Poet, subscribe, hit the like, and drop a comment. Watch a few shows. But listen, we on a journey. And we doing this together. Subscribe.
Pay attention to Elena and her podcast.
And we are big. And we are in the building with my special guest. This right here, next to me, this person, I want to introduce to some of you who may already know who he is, and then some of you may not, but that's what this show is about, the known unknown gems, right here from South Florida. So sitting next to me is the actor, the model, the amazing black man that is Kelvin Hare. And like I said, y'all, if you is in the world, unless you under a rock or something, something. You must know things that are going on. He was actually just in the new Aretha Franklin movie, The Young Sam Cooke. And if you watch Black Lightning, I got to let you know that this is the gentleman who is a villain in Black Lightning. He's blushing. Well, you must blush when you hear your accomplishments coming from someone else. It's different when it's you, you know, but to hear someone else call off the things that you do, it must create a feeling. And so I am honored to have you here. Tell these people who you are, what you got going on, and where they can find you.
My name is Calvin Hare. You can find me on Instagram at Calvin Hare II. That's Kelvin like the temperature, hair like on your head, and I for the second.
Okay.
On Instagram. I'm an actor, model. I've been in the game probably about 10 years now. Done a few things recently. Like she said, the Aretha Franklin movie that's out in theaters now. Secret Society. Hit top 10 on Amazon. You guys can check that all out.
Oh my God. And by the way, I love that movie. Come on now. If we gonna keep it real, you gonna let me go ahead and do me? Can I be myself? Go ahead. Secret Society, top 10 on Amazon. And check this out. You can't just go to Amazon and watch it. You got to rent it or buy it. It's one of them movies, so we on some exclusive. You feel me?
Worth it, though. It's definitely worth the buy.
For real.
The buy, not the rent. The buy.
No,
okay?
For real. I ain't lying. I watched that movie. Shout out to Tia's Bistro in the building. Throw up the deuces, Miss Bistro. You know what I'm saying? We gonna definitely make sure that people get your information. She got some good stuff going on here, right? We in the building. It's Eat with a Poet. Enjoy yourself. Dig in.
Okay.
We need some little plates too, Tia. On the side. Yeah, so you know, I don't have my Bob Molly tonight. I'm on my red wine. But like I said, we stepping it up. You feel me? We in a private location, and this is how we doing it tonight. So yeah, you know, our topic tonight is racism versus colorism. Before we get into that, was there anything else that these people need to know about you, or what you have going on, anything coming up that people need to check for?
Personally, to know about me or anything I got going on, if there's anything coming up, you can definitely, like I said, check out my Instagram. I post, you know, all the content on there. But most importantly, I mean, nothing really about me. I just want to help the people get to their understanding and help them grow in whatever way they need. So, you know.
And that's what it's all about.
100%.
That's what we do is all about, especially when we do it with purpose. A lot of times we start off with a desire and you know, to see something because we have a passion inside of us, and then it begins to grow once we feed it. But then we begin to see how it blesses the people that's checking for us. And then what we want is to make please more people. For me, I always tell people, I can't do nothing without God. I got to have him. He got to be there. He got to be first. You know how we roll. We in the Jesus gang. You feel me? So check this out. I thought it was cool. It actually would have been dope for me to have a dark skinned person on the other side of me to kind of balance the scales. But what better example of a black man to talk to about colorism and racism. I can imagine that people would probably look at you and say you probably haven't had any problems or haven't experienced anything when it deals with the color of your skin. But I think it's really important to, you know, just put it out there. I'm almost certain that coming up as a young man, do you have any stories or anything that you can share that maybe you have experienced, if not colorism, racism because of the color of your skin?
Well, I mean, I've experienced both, most definitely. But
I'm sure.
Like I say, I mean, it all just depends on, to me, who that person is to you and how you're going to let them affect your day. That's what it comes down to me. But I mean, as far as the difference, truthfully to me, both of them are something you can't control. They're both something you're born into. And the only real difference, in my opinion, is that one is more deeply rooted to you. One you're birthed on, one you've been told about since birth. The other one you don't necessarily. It doesn't hold as much value to you. You get what I'm saying? Somebody say, "Oh, such and such." This light brother, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It don't mean nothing to me because I know I'm light skinned, but I don't hold that party affiliation as it is nothing. But that black party affiliation is totally different. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't come to me and say some derogatory racist stuff to me because I hold that party a lot more dear to me. You get what I'm saying?
You mean when it comes to a white person saying something to you that affects you, or when it comes to colorism when it's your own kind?
So where I like to think, I try to come from an unbiased point of view. So I'm not even going to say white person, black person. I'm just going to say anybody that's coming from a different group than you, period. No matter whether that's a different political party, I don't care what it is. It's the main thing is who the person is to you and the type of connection and affiliation you have towards whatever that is the subject matter is.
That's a good perspective.
Now the thing that it is, now the problem is racism and the race that you are is very important to you. And that's where we get our pride from. So when you mess with that, that's when you hit that emotional trigger, and that's when problems start to rise, and that's when you know what I'm saying, people get hit.
Right. So the thing is, with colorism, is so weird because with you as a black man, I would see you probably, this is my own bag of opinions, but I would probably see you experiencing less racism than colorism. Because I've had this conversation with lighter guys, especially with this melanin tone, that have always had to prove this tough guy mentality, especially depending on the area that you grow up in, where you're always trying to prove just because you light skinned, you're not a weak person. Now, when I talk to you and I listen to you, your mentality sounds strong. So it sounds like your background and where you come from has allowed for you to have this type of mentality that doesn't allow you to, what people say, to affect you so much in that aspect. So that's why I can imagine when you say things like it's going to be what the person mean to you. It's going to be whatever type of relationship.
My mental
your
strong.
mentality.
My mental is strong. You know what I mean? It's like, because it pretty much, like I said, it just comes down to, I don't know how to break it down to you, but like straight up, my mental is strong. You know, there's nothing really going to affect me unless you mean something to me.
And you know, that is the safe approach to take. In certain situations with life, I think the safest thing to do is to basically to soldier up mentally, to get your war gear on when it comes to being able to control the things that you allow to affect you, which is definitely going to be a less emotional and way more mental capacity that it's going to take for you to do that. But in this America, when you're trying to make a difference, we have to concern ourselves with how things affect others around us. And so the objective for me specifically as well is to put some type of message out, which basically can help someone, because I know, like you said, it's something that we're born into. So these things are so much deeply rooted than us that, you know, having these conversations are good. Will it change anything? I don't know. But will it help somebody? Maybe. You understand what I'm saying? And so with that being said, you know, I just pretty much, I was like I said, I was watching the YouTube video with the girl, T. Niori, and I don't know if you've ever heard of her, but it was, when I put colorism in, so many different, you know, things came up with dark-skinned girls who have these YouTube channels. And by the way, y'all like and subscribe to Elena the Poet one time, Eat with a Poet, you know, I got some plug. But I was watching it, and she was really justified. She showed, I don't know if you ever watched that show, The Office. And then, you know, the Arabic girl who plays, I forget her name. Maybe y'all about to make me Google her name.
I think I know
the Arabic lady on Office. So she practically wrote the show. She's done so many things in Hollywood, and come to find out, she's truly discriminated against because she's one of the darker Asian and not so much one of the what they would consider to be beautiful Asian women. So when I googled leading Asian, not Asian, I'm sorry, Arabic. When I googled leading Arabic women, some of the most beautiful Arabic women in Hollywood came up, but I didn't see her. You know, so that was interesting to me. And then when I think about people in the industry, like, okay, boom, like even in the industry, in music, when I think about people like Fantasia versus Beyonce. Now, not versus, not they going head to head, but if I'm gonna keep it 100% real, if we gonna put them together on the stage, I'm gonna say Fantasia gonna blow everything on the stage out the water. You feel me? I don't care who on the stage. Once you take them shoes off, baby, y'all know it's something about a woman who take off her shoes and you get her a microphone. Something is about to happen. So, but anyway, when I say Fantasia versus Beyonce, you know, Beyonce, she's amazing and nobody can take from her what she does. But when we talk about colorism in Hollywood, you would have to imagine it's very real. Now let me ask you, because I know you'll be on set, have you seen any colorism in Hollywood or experienced where you got a part as opposed to a dark-skinned brother?
No, actually, I'm gonna be honest. If anything, it's the opposite in Hollywood, or at least that's the way it's leaning towards now. Because what people want now is realism. Mm-hmm. So people don't want anything that isn't necessarily your everyday look. Mm-hmm. If you look on your average TV show now, it's not going to be your model individual as the lead like it was in the 80s and 90s. This is a new time. They're looking for more of a regular look, and that's what. So that's what I think. You know, a lot of that comes from in the television. I don't really think it's.
You can bring the food out. We're gonna keep everything.
I don't think it's as much colorism on our shows. Now I'm gonna go back and touch on Beyonce and Fantasia because I got a side on Beyonce. Beyonce got way more range than Fantasia. And she got stage performance, and she has a performance overall, and she's been building her fan base for I don't know how long.
Well,
so you gotta accumulate all that when you talk about who getting that support.
Listen, we ain't about to have that debate, but I tell you what. I tell you what. When you say range, is that because you're a singer and you know range, or is that because you're going based off of what you think because you've listened to Beyonce's catalog more extensively? And you are able to say that, because before you say that, you got to tell me you done heard every Fantasia album. Mm-hmm. Run it. What's up?
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. I haven't heard every Fantasia album. I haven't heard every Beyonce album, but I've heard them singing. Okay. And I'm gonna tell you like it's simple as this. I'm not gonna out either one of them. I love Fantasia's voice more than I do Beyonce. Okay. But a lot of people, because I like a soulful, raspy voice. Me personally. Growing up in a church background, that's what I like. You know what I'm saying? Okay. It is what it is. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Even when it comes to a male singing, I prefer more of a masculine, raspy voice.
And maybe that's why I favor Fantasia's voice more as well.
High-pitched voice. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I know a lot of people that prefer that over the soulful voice.
Oh yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And to me, it don't make sense. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But you know what I'm saying? But once you live like you understand people's perspective.
Right about
you see
that.
You got different perspectives.
Some people consider what Fantasia does going too hard.
I like some people call it screaming. I call it passion. You know what I mean? And I prefer passion over skill, if that makes sense.
Come through now. Come on through there, Mr. Hare.
It's a connection.
Come on through with the dropping the philosophies. You feel me? No, for real. I'm with that and I'm about that, because guess what? We off the subject, but it's Eat With a Poet. We can do what we want to do. Passion could take you. Passion could take you way farther than skill. Mm-hmm. Okay, passion can push things that you thought wouldn't move. Passion can move it out the way.
100%.
You understand what I'm saying? But when you have skills, you're limited because you're skilled in a particular thing and you're able to do it this particular way. Passion has no direction. It's like an explosion in the room. You understand? I ain't trying to preach. I'm just trying to reach. You feel me? But anyway, so
anyway, I didn't want to go too far off topic with everybody when I went that way. But
bring us back. Go ahead.
One thing I wanted to say was to get back onto the colorism thing. Now, going back into the colorism and the racism thing, like I said, to me the only real difference is one of them you got more of a connection to, one of them you have more pride in. one of them gonna make you snap back a little bit quicker. Okay? But
which one would that be?
you already know the race, because that's what you're taught from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? You're taught, you know that there's racist people out there in the world. You've already been taught to be defensive. You know they're there. They've been taught they don't like you off rip. You know what I'm saying? Because you put a light baby and dark baby together, they don't know no difference. Whether that be color alone or whether it be race alone, they don't know no difference. They gonna play with each other.
Right, correct.
You know what I'm saying? The problem is what you've been taught and what you've personalized throughout yourself, what you've put your ego in alignment with.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying? So when I go into colorism now, when I go into colorism, who am I receiving colorism for? Like I said, it's gonna be within our own community. And to me, colorism affects me hard because, and I would say harder than racism because it's within a group that I'm reaching out to.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Because you favor your people more.
You get what I'm saying? And it's coming from the majority of the group. As opposed to it being something with racism, and I can easily shrug that off like, you ain't shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you
exactly.
down there. That's how I could think about it. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes from within your own community, within something that you personalize with, you know what I'm saying? It hurts a little bit more.
Because you want naturally to be accepted by your own, especially when you're putting yourself in public, like people like us. Of course, we want the black people to love us first. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? 100%. We want our talents and abilities to reach worldwide. But how does it make you feel when your own group of people, you know, are not loving you? You know, genuinely loving you. So no, that's a big thing. And it affects too children, because I've seen it with darker children where they wonder why the majority of family members are lighter, you know, than them. And it's not like they get treated differently, but you know, because love is love, but it is something that, you know, people question. So quite naturally people are, you know, acting in this hate thing to why kids would even question at all what's the difference between their color and mine. Because it's like you said, when you put two babies together, they don't know the difference. So when children are growing up, even if you haven't shown them, the world tells them something's different about your skin, or someone has asked them, hey, well, why you darker than your mama? You know what I'm saying? So I think it really hits home. And I think it's something that I'm glad we're actually talking about. Thank you. I need my plate for my stuff. I'm still eating Peters. One time for tea, you know what I'm saying? Trying to take my plate. Look. Leave my plate alone.
But to going on something like that, like I said, I try to come from a very unbiased point of view. So when we go into situations like that, when you're talking about children, I don't necessarily look at it the same way as the way I was just making that last example for what you're talking about, because that to me is not the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not me and you in a room in a box by ourselves doing us, and what we decide is what we decide. That's an outside layer that we have an attachment to, coming and showing more love to you. You know what I'm saying? And that's to me. That to me, what you see a lot of as children, to me is a actually very damaging colorism. You get what I'm saying? Like if you see, I've seen a lot of times. Like I said, my auntie has a little daycare, and the you see parents come in there all the time. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, you might have one white, one black, but you can see a favoritism.
Okay.
Unfortunately. You know what I mean? And not, you know what I'm saying, I'm an only child, but to grow, I can put myself in that, imagine that situation of growing up, and you can only observe somebody receiving higher favor than you.
Right.
And not only that, a lot of the time, 9 times out of 10, the parents don't mean any ill harm. That's just been what's subconsciously instilled in their head.
Reaction.
They're just instilled to like, 9 times out of 10, a lighter, more fair-skinned baby, and show up more affection. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting here watching this, and the parent is the parent for both children. I'm just like, you know. So it like I said, it's different examples where it does make a difference. You know what I mean? So like I said, you really got to look at it for what the situation is. But One thing I like to tell all my people, regardless of what it is, or racism, colorism, no matter the situation, I don't care who it is that's up against you. I don't care who it is that got a problem with you. You ain't better than me.
Ooh.
And if you got that attitude, I don't care what the handicap is.
Right.
I will outperform you.
Ooh.
Period. Period. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? It really does not matter. It don't matter.
And I second that. And I feel like
Just
that.
take note. Take note of what you feel like you got out of the head start, and I'm gonna just show it to you at the end. That's the only way I can look at it.
And that's the reason why you're a trailblazer.
You know what I mean? You gotta be.
Yeah.
You gotta be. Cause like I said, family, you step up. Another thing, when I was going to school, one thing my history teacher really taught me is, you can't complain and beg to your oppressor or the person that put you down, the person you feel like it's putting you down, to be the one to bring you up. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
So it's kind of like if you got a bully sitting there bullying you at school every day, are you going to go to that bully and just keep saying, hey, stop bullying me, please? Please, can you stop bullying me? Or even though this bully bigger than you, even though this bully may be stronger than you, you're going to outwit this mother. You know what I'm saying? You're going to do what you got to do to change that situation.
David
that's how
and
I look at
Goliath.
it. And that's how I look at it in every situation. I don't care who you are, what advantage you feel you got on me. I know for 100% fact, I will outsmart you and I will outperform you. Period. That's just the confidence I got in myself, and I hope everybody got that for themselves, and that will help you succeed, period, point blank, regardless of what anybody else say or feel about you.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that confidence is believable. I'm so convinced that you will outperform anybody, and I dare them to challenge you, because right now, I know I'm confident, but I'm confident in the gift that God has given me. And so that gift it comes with its own confidence. It just moves through on its own, and I'm just a vessel. So, but when you speak like that, you speak so sure, and I love it. It's an energy. If you can imagine, if you were sitting here, you'll be getting chills, because, that's what we need. I think that's the type of energy we need to be contagious in the world, in the children, and even in people who, it's not like there's no violence to it. There's nothing to it that says that you're better than them. You're just saying you ain't better than me. And I need to let you know that. And just in case you thought you were, I will show you what I'm able to do. And I think that's something that we need to instill in our children. So when you tell your child something like, oh, you can be anything in the world, you can be the president if you want to. But if your child don't have the confidence that they need, then and they can't sit in a room with people who say, dang, why you so dark? Because it starts with those little things. You got to be able to get over those little barriers. Things like...
And one of the main things with that too, with especially when you're going to the children, you have to teach your children how to mentally...
Oh, you got to say asparagus.
I will. You have to teach your children how to mentally grow and feel confident within themselves, and to grow their self-confidence without trying to cripple somebody else's. So it's like if you're right here.
Come on through now.
No, I'm just saying, if you're right here.
Listen to them, parents.
And your perspective of somebody else is higher than you, or they're doing better than you, and that makes you feel some type of way, which it always will. Your immediate thought, the first thing that comes to your mind is, I need to level up to here, not bring them down to here. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like, you can't do this. It's I can do this.
Come on,
you know what I'm saying? It's different. You gotta attack it. You gotta attack it. Stop tapping on the table like that.
Why? It ain't gonna break. We in Coral Springs. We at a private location. You feel me? This table's so strong. Yeah. So, no, you hitting me. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I am. Like you, I was raised in a church too. I'm that type of person. Be like, say, shut your mouth. I can't hide. So when somebody's saying something, my passion, you feel me? It is what it is. Y'all stay right there. We're gonna be right back. Eat with a poet.
Peace to all the queens. Stuff like that. Tapping in.
I need everybody to tap in.
Cool people.
Everybody to tap in.
Eat with a poet.
Subscribe.
Never leak it or show it.
Shout out
Gotta
to
pull
Elena.
your own weight. If you reap it, you sow it. Come eat with a poet. Gotta plant it and grow it. Drop that artificial food. Come and eat with a poet. Kicking words with the poets, I get lyrical. Physical is great, my journey now is spiritual. Peace to the queens in the nation and foreign. I would like to introduce you to Elena the poet. Stayed down in the jungle like some bare feet. Now when we toast, ace of spade, no more bare feet. Poking beans, Dade County, yeah, I'm still hood. Spread love, feed the homeless cause it feels good. Now pay attention, this is knowledge of wealth. Throw the school books away, this is knowledge of self. Quiet is kept, listen, this the revolution broadcast. Now pay attention to Elena and her podcast. Never leak it and show it. Gotta pull your own weight if you reap it, you sow it. Yeah, gotta plant it and grow it. Drop that artificial food, come and eat with a poet. Come eat with a poet.
Shout out to Elena the poet.
Cool people.
See, I need everybody to tap in, subscribe.
Spread love.
You know what I'm talking about? Black power,
Black power.
black queens.
Black kings. All
Shout out
kings.
to all the kings.
All queens.
Forward movement.